Hey, I mean, there's a few things to be said, right? First things first. St. Clair Saints, returning team from last season. They placed pretty high up, I think ending in the top six, but that was with Judgmental at the helm. Now, without Judgmental, they will have Bailable in that goalie position alongside Shiro Aisu and Emberd, and they'll be facing off against Fairfield Stags, which is a new team led by Dropleto with Strages and EDA Phoenix supporting him.
Yeah, Dropleto, one of the biggest names in the Omega Strikers community. That guy is no joke. Taking on two rather new players in Phoenix and Strages. We'll have to see how they turn up against this more seasoned team of the St. Clair Saints. But it is at Lab, everyone's favorite classic safe map with the missile prop and Might of the Colossus start. That Luna and that Atlas, I gotta tell you, will be looking very scary.
Yeah, definitely. But Might of the Colossus on both brawlers, right? Both of them looking to kind of scale with the size, dish out some damage. And we already see the side of the Saints take one barrier, perhaps soon to be two.
Yeah, soon to be two. Dropleto trying to run interference. Unfortunately, the core sneaks by. Offense for the Saints looking better than ever, but it's Dropleto with the core now, deflected by the expands. And I mean, Phoenix not in a position to get it, and that is a rare goalie goal for the Saints.
Yeah, the nerves unfortunately showing for the side of the Stags, as this is their first season once again, right? So they're still just getting used to this. They're kind of playing around their synergies. And a fun little fact, right? This Fairfield Stags team was actually formed about 5 days ago. So I don't know if they've had that much time to kind of build this synergy yet between them. But as the season goes on, I do expect great things from them.
Great things, but unfortunately, two barriers gone, and the goalie. Disaster for the Stags off the back of the Crater Maker, making a hole in the goal arc. It is the Stags going down once more.
Yeah, sure, Aisu putting in so much work on this Luna, right? All this damage, and hey, nothing against Embered or Bailable. They have been putting in some great work, especially with the damage that Embered has actually been putting down on the backline of the Stags.
Yeah, but the pressure from all sides. The Saints keep it going. There's the missile prop coming in full fruition. It's a power play now for the Saints, but defense needing to be played. Dropleto, you can't let that man get the core or else bad things will happen. Power play negated because they can't get it away from. There's that Crater making everything chaotic, but they'll live a little bit too late. It's a power play now for the Stags. A barrier gone though, a missed strike, missed opportunity as the flip just a little bit south from Shiro Aisu. They're holding on for now with the expanse committed. Their man is back online, but Dropleto, he can't keep on the core forever. Shiro Aisu looking to set something up with this split. No, back pass awry. The bell ringer, it's good somehow, setting up a Juno blob out of left field. The Saints drawing their first blood.
Hey, EDA Phoenix saw the goalie goal from Bailable earlier and said, you know what, I'll do you one better. I don't even need to be there. Let's drop a slime. And he finds one for himself. And I think that's something that the Stags definitely have to be happy about. They're not, out of this set just yet. And they have time to potentially scale, right? X, Imi, great characters when they start to get these awakenings, when they start to get more HP. And wow, we get the Sad Boys angle as it just goes right around. A flip out by Dropleto, but it's just stopped by the strike shot.
Strong showing from the Stags. They got a power play going, but not for long. Ember is back online. They do get a barrier for their troubles, though. Offense continuing to rage. All three members active in this play. Expanse committed. They need to hold on just a little bit off longer. Pass cut, though, as the offense turns and is denied by the flip. Beautiful setup denied by the astral projection. Sentry turret, though, offering so much pressure. Dropleto intercepted, unfortunately, but X Maximus strike reset. It's too much pressure with the face of Strages blink and Dropleto's punches.
Hey, Strages and Dropleto. I can already see the synergy starting to form, right? That was a great strike reset out by that Maximus for the Exalt. But the thing that really set it up was Strages making sure that it could stay in the corner, right? This corner offense that the Bozo Bunch team loves to kind of focus on has been carried through in the Stags.
And the Stags also focusing a lot on damage as well. They have completely reversed this set down 2-0, but they take all 3 points. Oh my gosh, the Saints, utter confusion for them. Everything went wrong so quickly, and I think it's off the back of the tons of damage that was being pumped out of nowhere. The coordination, the cooldowns, all coming together, and more damage going to be picked up here. A deny and a great pick for this X, who has been wrecking havoc on the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, the specialized training definitely going to be doing a lot of work, but one thing to combat it is that Stagger Swagger actually picked up by Ember, and then the Catalyst for Shiraisu. You have a lot of survivability actually being picked up on the opposite side, meaning that some of this damage is going to be kind of negated. Now, one quick thing I do want to mention is EDA Phoenix. Look at all the range he has. Strike Shot, Missile Prop, and Siege Machine. These blobs are going to be going all the way to the other side of the map.
Juno already omnipresent enough as it is with the blobs, but the pressure is just massive. All this disruption, all this damage, both barriers gone once more for the Saints as a man might soon be gone. Shiraisu staggered, the offense raging forth. It's Ember having to navigate this midfield, doing a good job with it, buying enough time. Shiraisu still trying to hold on, playing this life, beautiful defense from the Saints. They are a good team, and they are showing it with this defensive play. Their man is back in the field. Flips expended. Holding on still is the Saints, as they've tacked on some damage as well onto Dropleto. You get him out of the equation, and all of a sudden you have a very strong and potent power play on your hands. X Maximus committed, navigated by the flip. The slice and dice is good to equalize the barriers. Oni's blade coming out, but the dash stopping all the pressure, and Dropleto out of it for now. Staggered and dead. There's a flip, but EDA Phoenix, he holds, but not for too much longer. Shiraisu covering the top side, and that was a huge flip moment. But if you are the Stags, you are very happy with that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, that flip was held on for a little too long, but I think the Stags, they'll take it, right? They're having a really great showing because people weren't sure what to expect of this team, right? For a player who has played in NASL and then 2 seemingly slightly newer players, it was a complete wild card, and they've shown that they may have the potential to play near the top of the table.
Yeah, and it's another power play for them off the black hole. Dropleto not long for this world. Staggered Shiraisu. Gotta keep hold of all that damage, but he goes away! Oh no! Bailable needed his help, but the boost unfortunately whiffs, and that is a goal for the Stags.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bailable not given the chance to be bailed out by that boost, and, well, with Ember off the map, it was kind of doomed to begin with, as Dropleto and Strages, like, on this offense, they've shown they're really good at kind of capitalizing off of these power plays.
Yeah, they've been getting so many of them, but right now, it's the Saints in control here. Offensive pressure and a barrier to boot, but that is a flip in the hands of Strages. Got to keep it away from them. Offense continuing. The nice astral projection, keeping it forward. They're trying to keep it in the corner. That's where they want it. The slice and dice connects. Both barriers gone. The Saints firing back. The flip, though, not used. It was the blink, actually. There's one from the Atlas. Marched in kind. Offense continuing to hold here, though, for the Stags. Shiraisu gets the core, not for long. There's Strages doing God's work on both the offense and the defense. That blink range, it's everything. The sentry turret, that is omnipresent, covering the whole map, and that's the blob supplementing the offense. And now it is the Stags with control of the core, and the red core as well. It's coming out. It's too much to handle, though. An expanse to negate it. It turns against them. Double-edged sword is that red core, and the Saints convert another point.
Yeah, red core gives and red core takes, and unfortunately for the Stags, it did in fact take there. But these overtime moments, they are insanely clutch for both teams, right? A lot is done in these overtimes, and we need to see, ideally for one of these teams, a little bit more of a convincing set of points, right? We don't want to have to have it decided by some stray red cores.
No, but we would like that as the spectators. All the more chaos, all the more fun, and there's one barrier down for the Stags, trying to make it two as the Saints. Denied, though. They have both flips. Their offense will look pretty potent if they can get it to the other side. Corner offense, forcing one of them, and a beautiful redirect from Ember and getting the second barrier. There's a flip in the face! Unfortunately, not much you can do for Phoenix. Tried to use their own flip, just not going to cut it, and the Saints, they fire back.
Yeah, flip but no counter flip, and now with Atlas leading the pack, it's probably going to be the hot shot getting picked up, or the twin drive. Twin drive is an amazing pick on this Atlas, right? And yeah, opts for that twin drive. This IME will get Deadeye, which means even more kill potential and also a deny away from the Luna. But where does this hot shot go? Does it get denied from Juno? It realistically should, and we'll have to see here.
On the hands of Shiraisu, who makes the right decision here, not leaving too much for this Juno. Already Among Us is not the best awakening for goalies, in my opinion. You need that size. Having to take a Spark alongside Dropleto, the Saints are really happy with this draft, but the Stags, they're not going down without a fight after they already taken down a barrier, and they're looking for two after getting the boost well, but the pressure in the corner, it's too much. Oni's blade, but a kill! The bell ringo from Dropleto strikes true. Power play once more for the Stag. Sentry turret navigated. The core, it's dealt with. Their man coming back up now. Power play navigated by the Saints, and they have an open barrier, open goal to deal with Embered in the middle of it, but Dropleto dropping back to help with the defense. Offense, though, raging on here for the Stags. They have to flip and avoid that burst, though. Shiraisu is so dangerous with this Luna, and they have to respect it. Otherwise, that power play, which has been the deciding factor of this game, will turn against them. But a nice X Maximus that equalizes right there. Open barrier situation for both teams. But the Oni's blade, the charges, Embered he got his passive, and that's what scores the goal there for the Saints.
Yeah, it was about to look really good there, right? As Embered was using all those abilities, not able to kind of use anything else on defense, but then the slashing strike barely clips the core at the end of it all, and that's what secures it after everything. One thing I do want to mention is I think whichever team manages to secure the most speed awakenings at this point will probably control the game, right? Because Dropleto and Strages, whenever they have the opportunity to get the speed off of their mag souls, off their slick kicks, they are really holding a large part of the map. And on the other side, it's the moments where they aren't able to hold those where they start to get points.
Highly unfortunate point for the Saints, though. Shiraisu able to get one barrier with that flip, but Dropleto sitting on them, confirming that kill, and ultimately that's what gets them that point off the back of yet another power play. You would think the damage would be coming from the Luna with the missile prop, but no, it has been the story entirely of the Stags, but both barriers drop. A devious angle from Embered, unfortunately navigated to the dismay of the Saints. They still have one barrier to work with here, looking to get yet another goal. The corner offense, it's coming through. The boost goes wide, though. That was a scoring chance missed by the Saints. Dropleto with the core now, keeping it in that corner, and he finds the barrier through two. Setting it up now is Strange, but the astral projection thwarts that offense for now. It's Embered with his passive, but Phoenix strikes second. He wins the strike war, and it's Shiraisu and Embered trying to pick up the straws. Embered staggered, not for long though, able to recover thanks to that stagger swagger. And the core just floats in the midfield. Cooldowns being used to start something here, but strike wars are being won. A flips coming out. Shiraisu almost dies. Oh, so much damage, and there's the death right when Liv goes away. Unfortunate timing. It's another power play for the Stags. Passing plays that are beautiful. The blobs. And Dropleto wins the strike war. The Stags going up 2-1.
Yeah, the Stags going up 2-1. Really well played. The strike war out by Dropleto to catch it. And in that midfield too, right? Strages has been holding these angles that Dropleto really isn't able to on an X. And that has been so crucial. But what has also been crucial are these kills. Dropleto keeps finding them, and he finds two barriers. Almost gets the strike into the turret, but unfortunately for him, it times out.
Yeah, but they'll be more than happy to deal with the open net, and it's another strike war won by Dropleto. That man is a beast. He wins against an ability. And the Stags, the wild card team, they're going up against the Saints 2-1 in sets.
Yeah, 2-1, but look at this draft, right? There's so many good things for this Zentaro. That's the thing I'm focusing on. The Super Surge, the perfect form, the explosive entrance, even the stacks, right? Now, where does the stacks actually go is what I'm trying to see. Not to X, not to IME.
Yeah, I would not advise it to be on the side of the Saints, but it's actually Embered who picks it up despite being the man who's been getting killed the most. All 3 of his awakenings picked away here. This is a great draft for the Stags, who might look to close it out with the potent dash awakenings, just heightening their already dominant control over the map. But it's a bear going down for them first, looking to be 2, but the blobs crucial on the defense. The Stags hold for now. The core still being dumped into the corner, though. But a nice passing play gets a Clair Sentry turret boarded by the Astral Projection, as Liv is committed to keep Embered healthy. Where is the Juno? That's the second barrier gone. The Bell Ringer almost scored for the Saints. And it's an open net situation for the Saints. They need to convert here. Creator Maker forcing evades, forcing that energy. That's a defensive resource that the Stags will need. Pressure continuing. It's Atlas pushing up, and it's too much to handle. The Saints fire back, taking the first point of the sets.
Yeah, I think really what was missing there were those passing plays we previously saw, right? A lot of the time what would happen in that point is the core would just get forced down one way and the Stags just didn't have the manpower to answer it, whereas the Saints, they were kind of stacking on that same side and they were able to answer that.
Yeah, and another impossible thing to answer is a flip in the face. Barriers equalize off of Shiro Aisu's boost. Sentry turret. Disaster! Oh my goodness, it sets up Dropleto perfectly off the expanse to deal with it. The Stags quick to answer back. 1-1 in set 4.
That's an absolute tragedy for them, right? The flip right into the IME turret, and now Embered, he has no energy. He's also going to die soon, but he takes some barriers even if he doesn't.
Yeah, Embered has been so crucial on this offense, really okeying this new Juno goalie, and it's been doing work, but he hasn't been able to live long enough to fully capitalize as Shiro Aisu. Wow, what a crazy dribble play, forcing the flip, a glitch pop, saving the empty goal, but unfortunately a strike war won by Embered. You leave that man alive on the field long enough, and that is the price you'll have to pay. The Saints, they score 2-1 in set 4.
I mean, can we just talk about how insane that was played by everyone? Everyone played that so well, right? Especially that glitch pop out by Strages, right? He found that angle where I think most players probably wouldn't see it until too late. And he was nearly rewarded for it, but unfortunately for the Stags, that goal did fall for them. But they have 2 barriers in this point so far. They do lose 2 of their own, but the flip economy is not looking great for them, but the bell ringer, Dropleto finds it!
Oh, Dropleto, the Might of Colossus size, just barely eking out that core from Shiro Aisu, and it is set point, match points for the Stags, but set point for the Saints, and they find the first barrier. They connect Embered dangerously close to that. Evades, has to run away. There's the Liv coming in, but the core, everyone was focused on keeping him up. Both barriers are down for the Saints, but they have the core, they have the offense, they have 2 flips. It's not over yet. Then Dropleto burns his. They find the second one. Offense continues. They have the core still. The Saints need to score now while they still have the massive energy economy. The cooldowns being expended. All the blobs coming out, being dealt with. Embered still has the core, but it's thwarted by Phoenix, positioning right this time. Shiro Aisu, I'm looking at that flip, core's going red. There it is in the corner, slice and dice. It converts, and the Saints, they take us to a set 5 in this first game.
Yeah, the Saints, a great flip out by Shiro, and I think even better than that is Embered's use of the slice and dice to stall the core and mix up EDA Phoenix, giving him really bad strike timing. And what is Zentarr get rewarded with? A build different to scale with his Might of the Colossus, but then an extra special picked up for Dropleto. This is a deny, but it's also so good with the spec training he has. But then look, the Fighter Flight, that's where it is. It falls to the Luna, and now this Luna will be even faster.
Yeah, Luna with Fighter Flight always a good awakening on everybody, and we're seeing a 1-2 punch on this Atlas. That core is going to go red for free, and with how much the speed of the core has mattered in this game, that is a very good pick. But hello, Dropleto comes out of nowhere and secures a kill. It's a power play. Atlas Embered, it's not enough. The Expanse goes away too soon, but Dropleto looking a little bit low here. It doesn't matter. When Dropleto is out of it, it's Strages stepping up to the play. A nice cyber swipe, hit stunning the Atlas, and it's a first point scored by the Stags.
Yeah, hey, it's kind of like this pendulum in a way, right? When Dropleto is doing stuff, Strages is there to support him. And when Dropleto isn't, Strages Dropleto do score!
Dropleto is absolutely running away with it. That extra spec pick, it has come to full fruition, just like you thought, Ether. The spec training in the face of the Atlas, just bullying him to the edge of his goal box. It's disaster for the Stags, but they find one barrier. They need to find another. The sentry turret equalizing, though, as Embered completely out of position, scurrying back to help his team. Barrier almost taken off that stray missile. Strages with a beautiful dash to keep the offense going. Flip Force just furthering that pressure, but a nice strike shot, diffusing the situation for now. The Saints, they're holding on. It hasn't been a steamroll like the last 2 points. And there's a flip at the hands of this Atlas and a flip at Embered, who finds that first barrier. Shiraisu, he hit studs Strages. He would have been the first one to connect with that core. And the Saints, they're down, but they're not out. They fire back 1 point of their own. Can they find 2 more, though, is the question.
And reminder, right, they did fire back, but there's still 2 flips, but Dropleto, he might have something to say about it. He finds 1 kill, flip burned out by Shiraisu, goes over to that top side, and now it's just once again back on the barrier. Second flip burned, 1 barrier taken, maybe 2, but wow. It's still a power play.
Still a power play, but not for much longer. And the Saints, they have barrier advantage. The core dwindling away. The Oni's blade, it's it. What a setup! The boost! Oh my god. These forwards, Shiraisu and Embered, they are always in the perfect position to capitalize off these dashes. And we have a set 5.5 banger on our hands, folks.
I mean, guys, first game of the CCL season, it has to be a banger, right? We go set 5.5. We already have 1 barrier following, maybe soon to be 2 as Dropleto sitting with the X Maximus and flip. But instead, he finds the kill on Shiraisu, and now Bailable and Embered are left in a really tough situation as he finds a second one.
Yeah, both barriers gone, but they do get 1. The Saints holding on for now. Slice and dice, the passive, everything coming out. Full stops, full steam ahead. There's a flip on the side of the Stags. EDA Phoenix hasn't been pushing up, but if there's a time to be a hero, it is now to convert on this goal that they need so desperately. Sentry turret, the X Maximus, oh no! Atlas, bailable, can't bail himself out. The Cosmic Expanse, a little bit too south, and the Stags, they clinch the first game of this best of 3.
Yeah, that was the most depressing way to end the first game, right? I was looking for some fierce overtime, red core, back and forth, strikes, abilities everywhere, but it just ends up with a slightly missed secondary and then a missed flip after that, which ended up in that own goal. And that's got to be tough for St. Clair Saints, right? They're down 1, and I mean, it was a close game, but definitely a blow to their mental.
Yeah, for sure. They had it, they had opportunities, but the story of this game, I mean, Dropleto with 9 KOs and 36,000 damage. Juno and Aimee supplementing that with 25 and 22k to their name. They got so many power plays and they were able to convert on most of them. And despite the defensive prowess of the Saints, it was ultimately not enough to deal with the X Maximus off the back of the spec training and extra special.
Yeah, And one thing I will say is I did actually help Fairfield Stags with a little bit of warm-up stuff, and I was personally very impressed with Strages' performance, and no doubt, once again, impressed with how he performed in this game as well. He did show that he has potential to grow quite a lot if he continues to play more and more.
Yeah, both these new players on the stacks, they're newer. As we've said before, no doubt Dropleto is bringing them up to be the future greats of the game. But it is back to the drawing board for the Saints as they try and regroup for this next game. I mean, if you're the Saints, what is the game plan? Is it just keep the core away from the big scary X, Ether?
I think the one other thing is perhaps maybe look again at the draft, right? Because I did get a brief glimpse, and I think the St. Clair Saints banned away the Kazan, which I feel like there are better picks to kind of ban away from the Stags because Imi is Strages' best pick. He has some other picks such as Rune that I've seen. EDA Phoenix has like Juno, Dubu, but instead of focusing on Dropleto, perhaps look to kind of take away a pick from someone who has way less experience playing at that top level.
Yeah, that's a valid strategy in of itself. A team is only as strong as their weakest link. But all three members on both these teams have been really surprising with their results and their prowess so far. Identifying that weakest link might not be the easiest task as the Saints head into this next game down a set. But I mean, the Saints, you can never really count them out. They have been so good last season, they showed they were one of the better teams, and this season, they're having to deal with the monster of Dropleto and his two teammates that he's been bringing up himself. So
Yeah, and
Saints are not a sleeper team whatsoever. I have faith.
of course. But one thing to keep in mind, right? This is another Swiss stage, right? The CCL Swiss stage, as a quick note, has been dropped to 7 rounds as opposed to 8 as it was in all of the previous seasons. I don't think it'll make too much of a difference, but just something important to note. So even if they go down this week, they still have 6 more weeks to bring it back, kind of go back to the drawing board, figure out what their game plan is, and how they can secure a good spot in playoffs.
Yeah, they'll be looking to get back to that playoff stage once more. Teams currently banning and picking. And I want to talk about the Saints because they were forced to play a lot of defense that last
Mhm.
game with the tons of pressure that was being exerted, right? The sentry turret, cross map, the blobs, cross map, and the X just in the face, in the middle of it all. The defense for the Saints has been spectacular dealing with those power plays. They need, though, to find better positioning, right? Most of the kills that Dropleto found was because that the Saints, they were straying a little bit too close to the sun, too close to that edge, and Dropleto was there ready to pounce and punish them for that. So that's the caveat of the corner offense. You're putting yourself in a more vulnerable position, although it is a strong one to get that barrier. I think the Saints need to be a little bit more mindful of their positioning if they want to negate what it was a real big strength of the Stags.
Yeah. And an important thing to note, right, is the Kazan is banned again, but the Imi is actually banned away by the Fairfield Stags, right? And I think they just don't want to deal with Shiraisu's Imi. That's also possible. And they're just going to say, you know what? It's fine. We'll let Strages play something like the Rune, or maybe this now could be going over to Strages, right? The Asher getting picked up for Embered, and this Juno, once again, for, I believe, EDA Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix was very comfortable on that Juno pick. In fact, taking a little bit out of Cakes' notebook, I think that was a strike shot Juno
Yep.
in the goalie. So Dropleto probably giving him the secret sauce there. But yeah, really scary team so far. A very strong draft for the Stags.
Yeah, next pickup, Finny, and contrary to what most people may think, yeah, this is not a Finny goalie, this is Shiro Aisu's Finny, right? Shiro Aisu also being a known Finny player, right? Alongside that Aimi, Finny is something they're pretty comfortable on. I know they've been grinding some Luna lately, and then Atlas locked in once again for Bailable, and Dropleto on the Zentaro this time, which, with a perfect form start, he is definitely looking to put in some hurt as he did last game.
Oh yeah, perfect form Zentaro is no joke. You allow that character to get that awakening, and that has the potential to just end games just like that. But we see a little bit of a wall coming out with Bailable's Atlas and that Asher pick as well. The Atlas on Atlas's lab was really potent. The expanses were super good until that unfortunate last one. So
Mhm.
Bailable is no joke with that Atlas pick, and I believe he'll have an easier time navigating Dropleto on this forward Zentaro despite the perfect form start because Zentaro isn't really the same sort of brawler as X, who just likes to brute force things. Zentaro relies a little bit more on cooldown usage and combinations, whereas X presses the funny button R and just wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I agree, right? Just from a raw, like, offense versus defense standpoint, it is going to be tougher as Zentaro. But the one other thing to note is I really liked how the Fairfield Stags were passing, right? Strages and Dropleto's passing lanes were very clean, and Atlas is one of the characters who does tend to struggle a little more against that, and that's really the way you're supposed to get around him, right?
Right.
So this Zentaro is probably going to be played like that, right? Where you just use it as a more core control, or just, kill them with perfect form and then just send it right through Atlas anyway.
Yeah. And if there's one thing that we can count the Stags on, it is killing people. Very proficient. They showed that they were last game. But yeah, Night Market here, that's also a KO heavy map. Off the speed gate, you'll just have a brawler running down to you at Mach 10 if you stray a little bit too close to the edge. So we'll have to see how that plays out here with this perfect form start.
Yeah, in perfect form, going to Atlas, Asher, and Zentaro with Finny, Now, and Juno all grabbing the Siege Machine. One other important thing to note is that there's a gear we haven't seen in quite a while, Siphoning Wand on Shiro Aisu.
Yeah, Siphoning Wand, actually a pick that you would like to see on Zentaro most of the time, but what you don't want to see if you're the Stags is Embered sitting on top of Phoenix Asher, a notoriously oppressive brawler with that barrier beam. And in the face of not a melee goalie, not like Juno, it's real disastrous.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a disaster. And look at that damage that's coming down. We were talking about how the Stags like to play damage, but this Finny, no slouch when it comes to that, especially with the Siphoning Wand at her, just really at front.
Yeah, and wow, another kill sandwiched between everything. It's a power play now for the Saints. They try to get this very Oni's blade, buying just enough time though, and Dropleto, he has a flip in the face of it. Strages back online though. Nice proximity drones, keeping the core away from Embered. Opponent with the core himself, a blob to receive that core flip, unfortunately thwarted, and there's that dash. Dropleto in the face of Bailable. Both these brawlers just dealing with the goalies in the way they know best, and that is sitting on top of them.
Yeah, and I mean, sitting on top of them, a very viable strategy to deal with brawlers, but one character who can deal with it is that Atlas, right? Atlas can kind of push you away, make sure that you don't have that space to really work around, whereas Juno kind of struggles with that and really hopes that it doesn't get up to him, which it definitely is this time.
Yeah, flips traded though, barriers lost for the Stags. Big finish, almost connecting with that goal. Nice defense now, core going red. It's overtime, baby, and those slimes are so scary. Strages almost dying, gets the flip. It's two flips though on the side of the Oni's blade, denied by the Expanse that stays active just long enough. There's a flip to the bottom shot. Beautiful from Shiro Aisu. That was so precise.
Yeah, I mean, finding the perfect angle, and even if they wouldn't have found it, right, Embered was in a position where he could just redirect it to that top side, right? So they were already set up to get that goal there, and Shiro Aisu really smart on recognizing they can flip there.
barrier down for each team. Flip force, Dropleto sneaking it by, and that's a beautiful path splitter to get that second one down for the Saints. It's a open barrier situation once more for the Saints. Cosmic expands to get rid of that Oni's Blade. It's 2 flips now, though, for the side of the... Wow, one has to be committed and unbelievable. Embered, through all 3 members, he denied 1 flip and is able to find 1 more.
Yeah, and St. Clair Saints not happy with the previous game. They're taking this off to a convincing start. And with Shiro Aisu first pick, this might just be a missile prop pick or just opting for the Among Titans to give even more size over to the Asher.
Yeah, and with the playstyle of Embered thus far, more size will always be welcome, but picks falling down here, there's that Among Titans that you were thinking of, and Atlas is taking aerials over missile propulsion. Interesting.
And hey, we saw this once before. Strike shot, missile prop, siege machine on EDA Phoenix's Juno. I'm down to see it once more and see the damage and knockback and really just raw core control it has. Look at that. It's just halfway across the map.
Yeah, and those blobs and that turret last game really wreaked havoc on the position of the Saints, but they're happy to have 1 barrier down here, and they find 2 with the path splitter, and they find the goal. It was a snowball from Embered, who just absolutely steamrolled the defenses of the Stags.
Yeah, I mean, that's Asher for you, right? Asher definitely does that, and yeah, as is highlighted in chat, right, we do have a first pick Asher, and it's putting in work on the offense here.
Yeah, Night Market 2, one of the best brawler maps for this reason. You're able to sit on top of people and have a good time. 1 barrier down for each side here. It is the Stags with control of the core live to help Embered out here. There's Dropleto denied by the astral projection, but there's a flip on the board. Not used, though. They find the upwards clear, but Strages completely shutting down the top side. There's the expanse, and it somehow is able to find its way to the other side past Splitter. Denied, and there's the flip to secure the kill. Power play for the Stags, and they've been so good at converting.
And I mean, a great play out by Strages, right? Finding that perfect pass angle to Dropleto, who sends it into hitting that barrier. This is kind of their first sign of life for the Fairfield Stags, and they really need to close it out here, right? As Shiro Aisu, she has this flip ready.
Yeah, the energy economy, definitely a story to be told. Last game it played a huge factor. In this game it will too. 1 flip down already, energy in the favor of the Saints, but the barrier is still holding for the Stags. Path splitter navigated once more, but the big finish to supplement it. There's the flip in the face, but unfortunately the big finish sort of helping on the defense there, I believe. And we keep dumping it into the corner here, finally passing up to Strages, getting the core cleared, but no, the expanse from downtown, setting up Embered with the red core. And the Saints take yet another 0.5 goals unanswered.
Yeah, and really well played out by St. Clair Saints, right? The Stags, it's looking really rough for them, right? As we've mentioned before, the Zentaro struggles to get it through the Atlas, and we are seeing that time and time again.
Yeah, despite that perfect form, a rock on the defense, but a flip securing a kill for the Stags. It's a power play, and they have a flip on Dropleto, but Shiro Aisu quick to equalize, and Bailable is able to get it right past Dropleto with the flip to boot. Beautiful play here for the Saints, and they get a McDouble. My goodness, the Saints are in great form right now, holding on to this barrier, dealing with all the cooldowns of the perfect form Zentaro. This is a brand new team from what we saw last game. They locked in, and they're looking to lock out the Stags from this point.
Yeah, the Stags, it's all but over as the flip from Shiro Aisu takes set 2, and we're taken to another draft after 6 straight points from St. Clair.
St. Clair, what a game from them. They've been playing absolutely out of their minds, and even if it's Atlas against Zentaro. It's a Zentaro with perfect form, plus it's Dropleto. Beautiful defense from them, and beautiful offense from Ember Red. Shiro Aisu, oppressive with the big finish and the cards, who picks up that happy star, and they'll be very happy to have more big finishes on their side.
Yeah, more big finishes. We've already seen how much they've mixed up EDA Phoenix on the defense, and they will continue to do so, but something that Dropleto desperately needed was that Stagger Swagger. Now he's going to be able to live a few more of these damage dumps coming out from the Saints, and hopefully that's enough for the Stags to bring out a win in Game 2.
Doesn't quite look like it, though, as both barriers quick to drop. Dropleto once more on the offense. Can't really get anything cooking by himself, though, in the face of an Atlas, who did pick up Timeless Creator. So the expanses that have been so oppressive will continue to be pushing up his bailable, but the big finish, fortunately, not going to strike true. The Stags hold for now, and they find one barrier. Can they find another, though, is the question. And yes, they can. Beautiful utility from Strages to set up Dropleto there. Blobs coming through, trying to supplement this offense. Can't win the strike war, though. Ember Red denying every single clear, but the slice and dice is finally enough. There's Dropleto with the flip. They get the clear top side, though, but it's activated once more. Everybody has a flip. Bailable, Dropleto, Ember Red soon to have it, and Strages forced to use his to save that goal. EDA Phoenix has his, and the flip, my god, it finds one more kill. Strike shot to save that depressing goal it would have been in the expanse. All the cooldowns coming out here to save this goal. Such a tense point. Oni's blade thwarted, and they hold on. The Saints so far.
Yeah, and can we talk about how good Strages' positioning in this midfield has been? He's been finding these passes to Dropleto time and time again in the right position. Once again, you see it just Ember can never manage to keep the core in control because Strages is finding these strikes forward up to Dropleto. He's just changing sides again and again, using this Mag Souls to its fullest potential.
Yeah, and despite how many times Strages has been able to set up Dropleto bailable, the patience of a monk, but unfortunately that was an absolutely devious dash angle. It went red and there was no expanse available, and it was a hard-fought point, but the Stags, they finally score one.
Yeah, the Stags finding one goal, but one is not enough. They need 8 more if they want to come out on top, and that's not what we want to see is the double barrier in favor of St. Clair Saints, but Dropleto wants to answer back. The Oni's blade, not enough, and EDA Phoenix on the defense. The hit stun out by Ambred means he doesn't have time to react.
It was a beautiful shot from him as well. EDA Phoenix might be happy that that goal was scored. I believe they would have died if that barrier being connected, so they're able to connect and keep that flip for now. But so far, the offense has been really looking good for the Stags, and this point in particular, to keeping the core on the other side of the field way more than they have the last few sets, and they force the flip from Bailable. Finds the top side clear, but not for long. Strage is right there to intercept, and there's 2 flips, all 3 actually, for the Stags' disposal. Oni's blade trying to secure a kill, but they went searching for copper and found gold. Dropleto able to find that goal, intercepting the pass clear.
And hey, since Shiro Aisu didn't die, her flip's not reset, and well, that's not even enough energy for one evade, and with the damage that's been getting dropped on the Saints this set, it could be pretty dangerous, right? And as you mentioned, 3 flips, that's 1. First use, a great angle by Dropleto, not enough, but Strages has one of his own. Uses it, sends it forward, answered by Embered. Now it's on the opposite side, the big finish, finding that barrier, and it might just finish off the point. No, it doesn't. The Oni's blade continuing to keep the core away from their net, but it might not be enough. But just now, it finally gets cleared, and the Fairfield Stags can breathe for a moment.
Yeah, the Stags, a beautiful showing on the defense from them, and they have the staggered player to boot. The Slime Omnipresent almost finds that barrier, forcing the expanse. Well, unbelievable. I can't believe, I think Dropleto set up Embered for the goal, and it's all tied up here.
Yeah, drive-by by Embered as he gets knocked back by Dropleto. But keep in mind, there is a flip ready for this Zentaro. Could use that in a time of need. No barrier found yet for the Stags. does go to the opposite side, and now EDA Phoenix needs to be a little careful on the defense.
Yeah, EDA Phoenix has been having a little bit of trouble dealing with the Asher, but Dropleto says, I'll buy you at least 10 seconds of relief. Power play once more for the Stags, but it's huge defense for the Saints. They just barely got the core to the side. That's a power play gone and wasted, but they're able to find one barrier at the tail end of it. The Stags trying to search for two, having to deal with this defense. There's Bailable pushing up. He's able to find one, and thankfully doesn't have to pay for that with their own barrier. Core continuing to stay uphealed here for the Saints as things sort of start to mellow out here. Calm before the storm. Shiraisu has a flip, still feeding it to Ember. There's the big finish. Oni's blade coming out, and they somehow find it clear, but the astral projection cleans it up. The Saints ready to take this set, take this game. Expanse to deny the blobs.
But there's a second barrier. It is found. Shiraisu has her flip ready. She may need to use it on this defense to get a pass up to Ember. Gets the pass, the hit stun, the breakthrough, and it breaks through the defense of the Fairfield Stags, and we're going to game 3.
Absolutely beautiful play from the Saints. I think they locked in and played eons better than they did on Atlas's lab. They found all the answers to the questions that the Stags were asking them in game 1, and they answered in a dominant fashion, right? They died less, and they were able to feed the core to Embred, who was up a lot more than they were last game, and that was ultimately the difference maker between game 1 and game 2 for the Saints.
Yeah, all I'm saying is St. Clair Saints, they took some inspiration from Dropleto's playstyle and said, Embred do score. And, well, Embred did in fact score against EDA Phoenix as they got the passes out from Bailable and Shiraisu. But as we go to game 3, that will be on IME's app. And this map, have to keep in mind, Rasmus, Julie, and even Drakkar, big threats to deal with. And I want to see how many of these get banned, how the teams will deal with them, if any of them are left open.
Yeah, I mean, the brawlers have been so oppressive for both sides. We saw the X do it on Atlev, and we saw the Asher do it once more. That hole in the middle is just going to be a prime target to feed all these kills, which the power plays have been another insane factor and a storyline between this game and the last one. And IME's app, I mean, corner offense, very oppressive, very good on the app because you only have one barrier to work with, and it's sort of positioned in the middle of everything in the goal arc. So these brawlers will be able to have some fun, provided that they don't die and force their team on the back foot of a power play.
Yeah, and I believe since, the last one was Fairfield's map pick, so I'm assuming this means St. Clair Saints gets to decide side, if I'm reading things correctly. And if they do, most likely they'll be going over to this blue side. And Super Surge Spark of Focus starts on IME's app. And yes, actually, no, Fairfield is on the blue side. So Fairfield could just opt to ban neither and then maybe get one of the Rasmus or Julie or set up some sort of mind game.
Yeah, if you have a proficient Rasmus player on the app, it just forces the other team to ban that Rasmus if they don't get first pick. And that just opens up so many opportunities, so much more flexibility in terms of navigating this draft. And it's a super surge start. A lot of brawlers, especially the Zentara that we saw last game, really like that. And a spark of focus means that if the game is able to drag on a little bit longer, someone is going to be a very scary scaled threat. And we see an Atlas and a Kazan pick coming out here. All right.
Well, yeah, Atlas banned away from Bailable. I guess Dropleto deciding that Fairfield really doesn't want to deal with that Atlas. And Rasmus getting locked in for Dropleto. And then we have the Drakkar Julie answer. But what this also means is Strages is probably going to be back onto this IME, a pick that he looked very comfortable on.
Yeah, and I think if you're going to allow Rasmus through, getting Julie Drakkar as compensation is definitely a fair trade in of itself, but that IME pick was
Super Surge IME too.
Yeah, we saw how and what these players can do with just a little bit of extra range, and it is absolutely devastating. But a Dubu coming out here for Fairfield, I mean, what's not to love about the melee goalie like Dubu, who I think will have a bit of a rough time against the brawlers that will just try and force it through him with like a dash punch or the fabled strike to shotgun.
I'd argue it might be even easier, right? Because if this Dubu is able to kind of roll at the right time, can deal with this Julie really well. And one thing to note is this will most likely be Drakkar midfield because bailable outside of Atlas, he has actually been grinding a lot of now lately. And fun fact, I believe I played 2 games earlier today against him, and he was on now, both of them.
Wow, yeah, now goalie, definitely an interesting pick. You have that ult that functions sort of like an eject button, so you can help on that offense. And if you get a single creation awakening, your drones are going to be able to lock down not only just the 2 lanes of IME's app, but certain sections of the goalie box as well, which can be the difference maker if you want to deal with that Rasmus and that IME. Pretty balanced draft coming out from both teams here. I think the Super Surge start is going to be interesting to see because I think Drakkar and Now will be taking that, if anything, to just continue to speed blitz. But Rasmus and Imi will make good use of Super Surge as well. So we might see a pretty fast-paced, pretty hasty game coming out for Game 3.
All I'm saying is I don't know if it's that good, but I am a big fan of Super Surge Julie, especially when the player knows how to pilot it. Because Super Surge Julie can do some really funny things. And at least from what I've heard, I think compared to before, people are a little more willing to take it than just completely ignore it. So we'll have to see. Does Embered opt for the Super Surge?
And a lot of creativity that you can gain from having the extended dash range on the Julie if you're comfortable with it, like you said. But I do believe that one member from each team should be taking a spark here just to give them the added flexibility and that scaling potential from the draft. But who knows? The game, the set, the series has been crazy so far. And oh my god, Ether, speak of the devil, what have you made come to fruition?
Hey, it's a Super Surge Julie, and I am excited. Super Surge on Imi, Julie, and now with everyone else opting for the Spark of Focus. And one thing to note is we do have 3 Pummelers pickups for everyone except the Imi.
Yeah, so these teams trying to look for kills when they can. We already see the power of the Now goalie. The creations didn't even need to pick up an awakening for them to do their job. Available holding on for now. Offense is continuing to rage on here. But these sentry drones, they've been clearing and they've been activating the offense at the same time. Available pushing up, but a hook found by Dropleto. It's a power play. That is the power of Rasmus on IME's app. Rasmus gone fishing, and the sentry turret able to provide just enough pressure for the barriers to fall, for the barriers to be traded as Embered comes back online.
Yeah, Embered is back up, and there's that Super Surge almost doing wonders once again, as it did. And a great Cyber Swipe with the Super Surge extended range! And that's the flip, with Strages getting the opener!
Yeah, beautiful play from Strages. Recognized that Bailable did not have any tools at his disposal for the defense, and able to capitalize on it perfectly.
Yeah, Strages, he's just been so smart with this IME, but there's that kill. The double pummeler is actually activating for the St. Clair Saints. Flip up, and a great roll out by EDA Phoenix buys a bit of time, but maybe not enough. It bounces right off that gate, and now Shiraisu, she's set up for a shot, and she finds it.
Beautiful coordination from the Stags and the Saints, but the Saints get the edge in the end. The power play, unfortunately, not dealt with as the Saints equalize here off that power play. And the kills, they went double pummelers for a reason here. They're not looking to extend these sets for too long of a time. They're looking to find a quick pick and capitalize on.
Yeah, and I think same goes for the other side, right? And we see kills traded with a death touch and then a lock and load. And now in this 2v2, I think I would slightly favor the St. Clair Saints. But if Strages and EDA Phoenix can hold on for long enough, I think the Stags would be very happy.
Both teams just opting not to do anything in the 2v2. But one thing to note was that EDA Phoenix committed the Tofu Fortress. That is the biggest defensive resource NEWBIE has, barring the flip. And Rasmus has gone fishing once more. It is a power play for the Stags, but can they convert it is the question. The defense has been so solid for the Saints. A beautiful cyber swipe, not enough though. It holds, and Embered is back online. They find the clear, and they are looking to activate offense here. There's a super surge! Oh my gosh, Juliet flew a little bit too close to that sun, gets killed by the flip of EDA Phoenix, and it's a power play for the Stags. Sentry Turret keeping it in, but oh no, Phoenix, little bit of lag, little bit of mispositioning, but it doesn't matter. Strage is the opportunist. Beautiful cyber swipe to confirm it into the top side.
I mean, Strages does it again! It's another great cyber swipe. He knows his super surge range and he uses it to full effectiveness. But one thing I do kind of want to mention is I want to see Dropleto play on the opposite side of Embered a lot more, because Dropleto seems to be finding way more kills with the hook on Embered than Shiraisu, and I think recognizing that and playing to that advantage is something that the Stags should be doing.
Yeah, Dropleto in the middle of the two players of the Saints, able to find that barrier. Embered didn't rotate back to help there, but they have a core for now, EDA Phoenix wise, to clear it down. Shiraisu has a flip, rollout coming out, all the cooldowns in fact, trying to keep this barrier up. It's one barrier on this map, so losing it is a pretty big deal. Strages almost connects again, but Bailable able to navigate that one this time. Slow playing here in the midfield. Wow, Embered forcing the entire team back, but the core wasn't there to capitalize off it. It's Strages pushing up by himself here. Is the one-man band winning the 1v1 for the third time as Strages. No flip needed, and the Stags, they take the first set of game 3.
I mean, on the top side, there was Shiraisu and Dropleto kind of doing this game of chicken to see who would walk to the hole first. But Strages says, yeah, I don't care. I'm just going to play on this bottom side. And yeah, that Monumental is picked away from the Now opts for Twin Drive, but look at this. There is a Spec training open. Actually grabs the Spark, and I think that is maybe slightly better because this is going to be a single Spark in this draft with great opportunity to scale for the future.
Yeah, and if Dropleto is able to manage his positioning, which I'm sure he's more than capable of, that extra stagger will help him live enough to make a difference, not to mention the extra CDR he just gained. A wise pick not to invest into sort of temporary, a temporary answer, but for the long-term investment. But unfortunately, he strays a little bit too close to the hole, and Shiraisu very quick on the uptake there. It's a power play. Embered getting battered and bruised, but it doesn't matter because there is a sentry drone able to pounce on the down clear, and it's Bailable, able to impact the whole map from the other side.
Yeah, and Bailable just showing that you don't need something like a Juno or a Luna to be able to impact the map, as they just drop that Now drone in and reinforce the offense of the St. Clair Saints so well.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the core slips by Phoenix once more. Barrier down, hook gone wide. Tofu Fortress, though, it was committed to keep the offense alive, but save Dubu. Core sneaks past. Corner offense, though, still raging, and the Stags will find that barrier, and they might find the goal. Unfortunately, the core was just a little bit too wide. Strages has been so scary with these blinks, man.
Yeah, Strages really on point with the blink. Sets the flip up, and a great by Dropleto means Strages scores another goal for the Stags.
Beautiful angle from Strages and a beautiful disruption from Dropleto. Rasmus can go and fish people into the hole and also fish people a little bit closer to where they shouldn't be standing. And I mean, beautiful play from them as Bailable, unfortunately, takes his own barrier, trying to find a sneaky clear. Now they have to play defense once more, and it's Strages setting up the offense once more. Drone committed, hook once more, but they hold on for now. The Saints in a familiar position as they try and get these clears out.
Yeah, and a lot of damage coming onto Embered. The proximity mine able to heal him up a little bit. The second one not able to, and Dropleto, he might try to flip him off, but flip is not needed when the pendulum swing off of I think it's slightly off clear is found onto the top side.
I think Bailable was actually trying to pass to Embered, who was pushed all the way to that position because of the flip. But I mean, Dropleto more than happy to take that barrier off a little bit of laziness. Embered quick to equalize as Dropleto activates once more a power play. Rasmus hooked another player off the map. There's that sentry turret, but Embered running nice interference, but a strike shot to keep the offense going. It's too much. Dropleto and Strages, they take that opportunity Phoenix gave them, and they capitalize on it.
And I mean, this might just be the power duo of the season, right? Strages actually getting rewarded with potentially this extra special, a great pickup for the IME, and it might just be curtains if that goes their way.
Yeah, but not taking it so quickly. They didn't deny it, and actually it's Erasmus who takes the extra special. And I believe that the Saints, their hands were a little bit tied because a spark of strength on that Rasmus would have been curtains in of itself. The Saints in an extremely tough position here, but if there's one thing that they can try and bank on, it's Drakkar with 1-2 punch.
Yeah, the Drakkar with 1-2 punch. Already, she found a few cheeky kills onto mainly Dropleto, I believe, and because of that, they have found some great barriers, and now there's the kill onto Strages, who's been scoring so many goals for the Stags, and now in this 2v3, this is very rough. EDA Phoenix in the corner, some great strikes, buying so much time, but unfortunately, an off angle, EDA Phoenix not able to read the direction of the core, and it goes in favor of the Saints.
I mean, can we talk about Shiraizu's that insane back pass into the hole? What a crazy angle that sent the core at. I mean, what creativity coming out from the Saints here, trying to make anything work for them, but it's a power play once more for the Stags. EDA Phoenix pushing up, been confident to do so this game, didn't do that last game. Sentry turret and the whiplash, it's too much pressure in that corner. Devastating opportunity as Embered falls again. It is Atlab all over again. Embered cannot stay alive, and Bailable can't either. The cyber swipe finds one more. Shuaisu cannot hold on. She did her best, and the Stags get 1 point.
Yeah, the Stags, so much damage, right? Great damage coming out by Dropleto, the Super Surge, just everything in the kitchen sink dumped onto the Saints, and well, there are more abilities getting dumped on the opposite side, right? Dropleto does fall. EDA Phoenix, he has this flip. He flips. Where does this go? It goes right into the drone. No. That's not where we want to see. But there is still time as Dropleto is back alive, and this IME turret is buying so much space.
Oh no!
Trophy Fortress! Save Dubu!
Save Dubu! Oh, just so many things went wrong for the Stags. First the clear into the Dorito chip, and then a grade A certified save Dubu moment. But the Saints more than happy to take what they can get, and they get a power play. Dropleto straight too close to the hole, but it's a beautiful shot from Strages. They get the barrier, and the offense is crumbling as Strages. He does it all. Strages does it all by himself. The barrier off the flip, the cyber swipe to intercept the core, and the glitch pop to finish it off. A masterclass from this player. Isn't this guy level 60? Oh my god.
Hey, all I'm saying, bro, is get Strages into Launchpad. Get this guy onto a team. He will go places as he has shown that he can compete and actually just match the power of Dropleto. And just as I say that, Dropleto, he finds a great dribble, and then the misclear from Bailable means it goes to the bottom corner. The Stags coming out on top on our first match of the season.
Absolute heartbreak for the Saints there. They found their footing in that second game, but on the IME's app, It was all Strages on that Imi. I don't even want to talk about the 6 KOs on Dropleto. Anyone can do that with Rasmus on Imi's app, but not everyone can pilot this Imi the way that Strages just did. An absolute masterclass from Strages, supplemented by his team, and it was a valiant effort from the Saints. 61 saves from Bailable, had to work overtime there to deal with all these power plays that were being afforded, but unfortunately it was just not enough. And the Stags, the wild card team, the freshly made team 5 days ago, they defeat the St. Clair Saints.
Hey, sometimes it just clicks, and it just looks to be the case for Fairfield Stags. But one thing I would like to see from the future, and Strages as a player, he can develop a lot, but as we've seen, a lot of his great plays were on IME so far. He had some good stuff on Now, but I think if he puts some time in and picks up a few other characters to a similar level as IME, he can be maybe even a top 5, top 6, maybe even higher midfield in CCL.
Yeah, a beautiful showing from the Stags, displaying to everyone how they are not to be taken lightly, and they are posing some serious questions to the entirety of the CCL. And the St. Clair Saints, unfortunately, not able to find the answers. A valiant effort, but they will lose their first round of Swiss in an absolute slobber knocker of a game.
But that is the first match. We do have more games tonight, right? As our second match of the night will be SLU Strikers versus UNCCH. And for that, we will have to go to a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be with you on the other side.